Dr. Matthew Walker, in his book Why We Sleep, he said not negotiable 8 hours sleep a night. So the choice you have is you can do 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. That's great time for students studying, because from 4 to 6, peak study time. You will learn almost twice as much compared to trying to study at midnight and falling asleep. So you can do 8 to 4 or 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is probably my favourite. Or at a stretch, 10 to 6. So let's do the 9 to 5. So from 9 to 10:30, there's our first 30-minute one. Non-rapid eye movement time takes up 80%. And your rapid eye movement time takes up 20%. And that's not a surprise. It's in the early part of the night where we need to get that information from the short term up to the long term. 10:30 to midnight, we've got 60% rapid eye movement and 40%, non-rapid eye movement, 40% rapid eye movement. So then we get from 12 to 1:30 a.m. Then we're looking at about a 50 rapid eye movement and 50 non-rapid eye movement. Then we get from 1:30 to 3 a.m. and we're looking at 40% non-rapid eye movement and 60% rapid eye movement time. And then we've got, say, 3 to 5 a.m., we've got 20% non-rapid eye movement happening and 80% rapid eye movement happening. At a recent health retreat that we ran in Alabama, I was surprised and almost shocked at how many of our guests, and we had 11 guests, are going, the earliest was 11 p.m., some midnight, some 1 a.m. I said, what do you do? What are you doing at that time of night? I can promise you, if the lights are dull, you have a book, and there's soft music in the background, you can't stay awake. What's keeping them awake? It's technology. When I discovered that these devices have blue light, not the same as sunlight, but similar, telling us it's daytime, I used to do all my emails of an evening. I don't now. I do my emails late afternoon. Because when that sun goes down, guess what should happen to the devices? They should close. Huge problem today is insomnia. Huge problem. By looking at this, you can see why. Dr. Matthew Walker, they did a lot of experiments, especially on students. They had 20 students. 10 of the students had 6 hours sleep a night. The other 10 had 8 hours sleep a night. And they all learnt the same things. 3 months later, they tested them, and the ones that had 8 hours sleep a night, I think it was 40% more knowledge they retained compared to the ones having 6 hours sleep a night. Dr. Matthew Walker showed that 10 nights of 6 hours sleep a night, 50% less cognitive performance and 50% less physical performance. And he said the danger is you don't even realise that you're lacking. He also showed that there are more accidents due to sleep deprivation than alcohol. But the problem is technology, because that's the one thing that keeps people awake, isn't it? So how can we increase the output of these reviving hormones at night and access the value of this 8 hours sleep a night? So I'm going to show you what enhances our sleep and what deprives us of the value of the pineal gland secretions, deprives us of this process. What enhances is exercise. When you exercise through the day, you sleep better at night. When we are physically moving through the day, we're more likely to sleep at night because our body's exhausted. What also enhances is hydration. We need to be well hydrated when we sleep. You can't hydrate your body just before you go to sleep. You've got to start in the beginning of the day. When you start in the beginning of the day, by the time you go to sleep at night, you've got a well-hydrated body. I don't drink a lot of water before I go to sleep because I don't want my sleep to be interrupted with having to get up to the bathroom. But I would drink probably 3 to 4 glasses before breakfast. It's easy for me. I wake at 5 and eat at 7. And then I would have possibly another 3 glasses between breakfast and lunch. I try and leave a good 5 hours between my meals. And so in the afternoon, I have 2, maybe 3 glasses of water. And that allows me to sleep all night. I know some people that can drink 2 glasses of water before they go to bed and they can sleep all night. So you just have to get to know what works for you. That's why we're the doctor. If it works, do it. If it doesn't work, adjust until it does work. What deprives, of course, is lack of oxygen, which is lack of exercise, and dehydration. But what deprives also is late nights. Well, that's fairly obvious. If a person goes to bed at midnight, their short-term memory unit can be half full, so that the memory can't all fit in. So this is a contributing factor to losing memory. What also enhances is sleeping with an empty stomach. And the way to eat with an empty stomach is to have breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, and if you have anything, or you call it supper at night, maybe it's just a cup of tea, cup of herb tea, maybe it's a bowl of soup. So what really deprives is a large late meal. When we sleep, our stomach wants to sleep too. And if our stomach has just had a big meal, it cannot sleep, because if it sleeps, then the food in the stomach starts to rot, and that can poison the whole system.